So I'm just going to show you how to load your samples real quick in the Akai S2000 rack mount. Just simply click load. You can put in your disk before or after. Just has to be before you actually click whether you're going to be loading from the disk or the flash ROM. The disk, and then it's going to ask you floppy or hard drive. So going back here is click load. So if you want to you get in the mix, you want to go back to the beginning, just click load. But flash ROM is, I guess there's some memory sticks you can put inside, so you don't have to load sounds every time you well, I guess you'd have to load them too, but they would be in the sampler, so you wouldn't have to flip through. You just click, let's see, yeah, no flash ROM flitted, so I'm guessing you just click flash ROM and then they just load all the sounds you normally use or your regular sounds that you use on a normal basis. For me, I just click disk, click floppy, and it load the entire volume. Load a multi. A multi is the when you have multiple programs across a MIDI keyboard. Then you can load all PS, and that's programs and samples. You can load just an individual program and samples. Load all the programs, load all the samples. That's what I want. And then this is load an individual item. So one of the samples is Ray 7. Let's see here. If I turn this here, it's going to go through Ray 8, Ray 9. I can load individual samples. Load a system. If I have a different operating system I want to load. We want to go back up to all samples and click go. And since I just turned on the Akai, when you upload it, when you upload it, it actually loads some basic sounds. So for the first one, I normally press clear, and that'll actually clear out your memory of the basic sounds, or if you were working on a beat beforehand, it'll clear out all those samples and then actually load the new ones off the disk you inserted. Or if it's already clear, then you just click load. For me, since I have those original samples, I'm going to click F1. It's going to clear them and then load them. Now, one thing I noticed about this sampler is it really doesn't, you just do what you want to do, so it's not going to say save like a computer would, or pop up with a dialog box and show you where you want to save it. Where you want to save it is whatever disk you put in there. And no dialog box or nothing. When you just click load and it loads, or click go on the proper or whatever you want to load. So now those are all loaded. Again, there's nothing in particular you really have to do. Just pop out the disk again, and no like eject USB or anything like that. I have some more samples for a beat I'm working on, so I'm also going to load those up. So you can click load if you want. Disk, floppy, F1 twice. You can go down one by one. You can also just use these pages. That goes all the way to the end in this case. And then I can scroll up from the bottom to all samps. But in a bunch of these other and I'm lost for words what to call them, but a bunch of these other modes where you can edit and change stuff, there's a lot more windows, so it takes quite a while to just click up and down through them one by one. And in that case, you're going to want to use page to go all the way through it step by step or group by group. And then once you get to where you want to go, you actually click the page button to navigate through the group. So we're going to load some more samples. Go to load all samples, go, click F2. Now see, this time we don't want to clear them because we just loaded the other samples that go with it. So this time we're just going to click load. So right now I usually just relax, let it load. Once it's done, I'm going to load up a program, show you how to load a program. It's pretty much the same thing. I just have another disk that only has a program on it. To be honest, if you have one of these, you should get a zip drive and connect it in the back. It's actually set up perfect for one of those iOmega zip drives because it has the 25 pin. To load the program real quick, we're going to eject these samples I just loaded. Put in the disk with your program. I'm going to start from the beginning back at disk. And then we're going to go down to load all programs. And there's just one on here, but if there's multiple ones, or if it was, say, a zip drive, it would, I guess, load as much as your RAM would allow. So this one, I'm gonna press load so it doesn't erase the samples. I was thinking if you press clear, is it talking about just the programs in there? But we're not gonna chance it. We'll look that up later. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my controller. Give me a sec and play all the samples I just loaded. Let me plug me into the speakers. Okay. Oh shit, some white noise. All right. I got a dirty mixer, so it's all. Okay, so that's actually some kicks from my drum machine that I'm using to control the Akai, but here's the samples. So actually, you know what? I need to press single, and that's going to allow me to choose the program, which is actually called Georgia Ray C, because the samples are from the song Georgia by Ray Charles. So now it's going to actually play the there's a drum loop. Anyways, I'm just letting you hear them. But yeah, so that's how you load up your samples and a program.